Okay. Do you guys have any questions or confusions on the things which you discussed yesterday? Please do let me know if you guys have any questions or confusions. Let me quickly recap that. So we discussed about SCM, VCS. What is SCM? SCM is source code management. VCS nothing but version control system. Source code management nothing but so the code will be written by multiple developers that could be combined in one of the software, working software. That is called as a source code management. Then what is this VCS? Since many developers are working on the code, right? Many people used to do the changes on the files. So for example, version.txt is the file means those file multiple people are editing that file means absolutely that file will have a multiple versions. We need to keep a track of those versions, and if suppose if anything goes wrong, we need to retrieve those particular files. For that purpose only we need to use VCS, version control system. So in a VCS world, there are three types will be there. One is LVCS, CVCS, and DVCS. So what is the use and what is the use case of LVCS? Can you guys tell me what LVCS can do for us?
LVCS stores all the versions in local, CVCS store in centralized server, and DVCS it will store in local as well as centralized.
Okay. Correct. So LVCS localized version control system. It will only keep the files in the local laptop. It will going to maintain one local database. That local database we are called as a spreadsheet, Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, we are going to write down that version 1 will be kept in desktop, version 2 will be kept in downloads folder. Like that, we'll be keep a track of that. That is local VCS. But there could be a problem in the LVCS. What is this problem?
We can't keep the updated version of local in centralized so that other can edit.
Collaboration. Nothing but what I wrote, myself only knows. Other people, they could not know that. And also, whatever the files I edited, those files stored in my laptop only, not in other laptops. If they want to collaborate, if they want to edit the same files, I have to share with them. Again, they want to share with me. There's a little bit confusion will be there. That's the word we call it as a collaboration. So people cannot collaborate each other. That's the one. Next, when you go to CVCS, centralized version control system. So this was resolved. How? Because whatever the changes you're doing in your local laptop, you'll be uploading those changes to centralized server. We'll be uploading that to central server. So central server have all the files, whatever the developers will update the things, right? Those all the changes will be stored in the central server. But in central server also there could be a problem. What is this problem? Single
If
point.
central server fail, entire data will be gone.
Yeah, hard disk failed, central server is gone, or maybe hard disk issue. Without proper backup, entire data, entire your project data will be destroyed. Correct? That's a problem. Next, for for resolving those kind of issues which are reported in LVCS and CVCS, we find out that there is a DVCS, distributed version control system. What is the use of this DVCS? DVCS is a method which will allow you to store the data from local repository and along with central repository. Okay, so whatever the data you stored in local repository, the same data will be there in the central repository also. Make sure. So for example, if the central server is deleted, destroyed, what will happen? Nothing will happen because the data already there in your local laptop. Even your laptop is destroyed, no problem. Your colleague also have the same data. You can create a new server and you can bring a new laptop and you can able to restore it. This is the way DVCS will come into picture. Okay. Next, then what is Git? Git is a DVCS tool where it will talk about distributed version control system for making a collaboration between the different developers. when Git was started, like Git project was started initially in 2002 with the who invented the Git means Linus Torvalds. The guy started working with the DVC's principle called BitKeeper. So he was there for 3 years, 2005. So BitKeeper and along with Linus Torvalds guy, both are revoked, nothing but they separated each other. Post that the Linus Torvalds generated or implemented the Git feature. That's about the Git. The features wise, if I talk about, so it would be reliable, open source, and branches will be there. Speed of operation will be more. There could be plenty of features will be there with respect to Git. Are you guys clear on this stuff? Do you guys have any specific questions on this? Please let me know. So without wasting the time, we'll proceed for a repositories. Are you guys good? Okay. So the next one, very important concept, that is repositories. In the interview, the people will ask about this. What is a repository? Repository is a storage space where we can able to store your project related data. Repository is a storage space where we can able to store project related data. Okay, that means entire project will be stored. Where it's gonna store? In the repository it will be stored. Then what type of repositories are there? You guys already knows about the repositories. One is local repository, another one is central repository. A repository is a directory or storage space where your projects can live. It can be local to a folder on your computer, or it can be storage space on the GitHub or the another online host. You can keep code files, text files, image files, you name it inside a repository. Nothing but a repository can store in your local laptop also, or it could be in a central repository also. So it's in the online also. Okay, so what you can keep in this particular repository means all the coded information, like the code what you're gonna write, right? Those code files you can keep, text files you can keep, image files, many things can be kept under this particular folder. Okay, there are two types of repositories: central repository, local repository. Central repository sometimes also we call it as remote repository, guys. Please make sure. Central repository typically located on the remote server. Remember, guys, central repository means it's typically located on the remote server. Exclusively consists of .git repository folder. Exclusively consists of .git repository folder, meant for team to share and exchange the data. So remember, guys, here one folder is there. That folder name is .git. Uh, can you guys able to recall in the Linux world, what is the meaning of before the file name dot is there means what is the meaning of that?
Hidden files.
Hidden files or hidden folders. So before the file name anything is there means that is hidden. After the file name something is there means that is an extension we call it as like abc.txt, storage.py. These all are extensions. But before the file name dot is there means make sure this is the hidden file or the hidden folder. Then what is the local repository then? Local repository typically located on the local laptop only, resides as a .git folder inside your process root. Only admin of the machine can work with this repo. Admin of the machine means only your laptop. You are the owner of your laptop, right? Only you can able to work with this particular repo. Then installation part.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm not able to view your this one.
Is it? Let me.
What you are going to share, no? View it. Completely dark.
Okay.
For me, it's visible. I think.
Okay. Will it be fine?
Shall I?
Yeah, rejoin back. Yeah.
Shall I rejoin one more time?
Yes, please. Okay, the next part will be installation part, like how we can install Git in your laptop. This is the step already we did on our first class itself. Correct? That means from starting of our journey itself, we install the Git software. Okay, I'm gonna show how to validate that as well. Okay. Make sure, guys, Git is supported in all the operating systems. It could be on your local laptop, it could be Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Unix, anything, any one of that. So every place Git can be installable. You can install Git as a package or maybe another installer or the download the source code and compile it yourself. Installing on the Linux. You can install Git on Linux machine by running the below command yum install git apt install git. Remember guys, yum install git command will be used for Red Hat Linux, CentOS, Fedora, this kind of servers. Apt install git will be used for Debian, Ubuntu, those flavors. Okay, just a moment. Sorry. So for Windows, we can go to this path and we can download. For Mac OS, we can download from here. Next part, you guys has to create a GitHub account. Okay, you guys has to create a GitHub account. Mine's already account is there. You guys has to create the GitHub account. You guys can try later creating a repository. I'll share the link, like how to create the repository. I'll share the link. Make using that, you can create a repository. Okay, in case if you're facing any issues, you can ping me on the WhatsApp. You can share the error in the WhatsApp so that I can help you guys. Okay. What is GitHub here? Nothing but before you start working with the source code management, you will need to set up a online host that acts as a central repository. That means GitHub is a central repository. Then what is Git then? Git is your local repository. Git is local repository and GitHub is central repository. Okay. Below are some of the online hosts that you can use to set up your central repository. GitHub will be there, GitLab will be there, SourceForge, Bitbucket, AWS Code Commit. These are the very popular tools which are available for setting up a central repository. But we are using Git. We'll be using GitHub as a central repository. To start working with this, you need to create an account in the GitHub. You can use the below URL to set up your account GitHub. URL to sign up is like this. The URL will come. Make sure that we can set up. Getting started with command line. There are a lot of ways to use the Git. We have command line tools, and along with there are GUIs also. For this tutorial, we'll be using the command line simply because command line is the only place to run all the Git commands. So most of the GUIs will implement only partial functionality. So if you know how to use the command line, probably you can figure out and you can use GUI versions also. First time Git setup. So now that you have installed the Git in your system, we'll want to do a few things to customize your Git environment. So Git comes with a tool called Git config that lets you get and set the configuration variables that control all the aspects of how Git looks and operates. So the service, these variables are stored in 3 different places. So etc git config, like this, there could be plenty of places are there. Every level overrides the values in the previous level. .git config trumps all the levels. Okay, on Windows, Git looks like the .git/config file in the C drive users for most of the people. You can review all your settings by running the git config -list -show -origin. Okay, this command is going to list out the details, and you want to set up your identity from your local laptop. We can use this git config -global user at name, then username, user at email, then user email address. Both we need to give that. Git config list command will use to check the list. Okay, like git config user at name, if you give that, this will going to list out the username. Okay, getting a Git repository. You can typically obtain a Git repository in 2 ways, guys. One way is take a current directory and turn it into the Git repository. Remember, in your local laptop, create one folder and prepare that folder as a Git repository. That's one way. Second way will be clone an existing Git repository from the elsewhere. Clone nothing but downloading. Like a current directory in your local machine, we can make it a Git directory in the local machine. But second option, repository from the online ones, that is from the GitHub or Bitbucket, then copying to the local machine. These are the two methods we can follow. Both the methods I'll show that, but right now we'll follow for second method, copying, cloning existing repository from the elsewhere. Okay. We'll do one thing. So any one of you guys can share the screen. I'll guide you how to create the repository and how to set up that I'll gonna show so that other people can follow the same thing. Okay. So only one guy can share the screen.
Shall I start sharing?
Yeah. So search for github.com. Other guys, please follow this guys. github.com. Search for github.com slash sign up. Copy this link to chat box. Other guys, please click on this link and follow the steps. Okay. If you guys have facing any issues or confusions, you can ask me anytime. So here, email address is there, right? You can provide your Gmail ID here.
Password is for my email ID.
No, this is for GitHub, different password.
Okay.
But make sure password should be at least 15 characters or at least 8 characters, including a number, special character, lowercase like that. So that means password should be
Include
8 characters, uppercase, lowercase, special character, number, everything should be included. You can give the name like, I mean, password like that. For example, just if I want to give some hint means,
yeah.
like if I take ABC, okay, like ABC small at the rate of ABC capital 123, like that.
Okay.
In that format you can give. Then post that username should be rememberable, guys, because and you also unique, also unique nothing but none of the person should already use this particular username. Like that, you need to give the username. Maybe you can use first part of your email ID. That's your username. First part of your email ID is there, right? Before at gmail.com. That portion you can able to put on the username.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, you can continue. Put up the username.
Available.
Continue. Did the page went to next page? Because I think the screen was freezed.
It's available, the usernames, that's why.
Okay, you reshare the screen. Stop and reshare the screen.
Okay. Is it visible?
It's loading. Just a minute. It's taking a lot of time to load.
Visible now?
No. It's a blank.
Okay, we'll reshare one more time.
Please be on the near to the router.
No.
No. Guys, others, will you guys able to see the same problem?
Yes, sir.
You guys able to see?
Able to see, but it's completely blank.
Sir, completely blank. I think others can share the screen. No issue.
Okay. Amodru, can you share?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Amod, you already created the repository, correct?
Yes, sir.
But we required a person didn't create the repo. Raghavendra sir, will you able to share? You have the repository already?
No, no, I don't have. I don't have.
Okay, can you able to share?
Yes. I think it's visible, but
No, it's taking time.
yeah, because I'm connected through my mobile. Just a minute, hold on. It's taking much time.
Okay, no problem. You can unshare, sir. I'll only share. I'll grade that. Okay. So guys, look at
Just a
the.
minute. No, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
You switch over the network.
I'm trying that also. I'm trying this. No, it's sorry for that. It's mobile network. It's too slow.
No problem, sir. You can unshare. I'll share it.
Okay.
github.com/sign up. Okay. When you guys it is URL, like this, it will ask. It's email address, password you need to give. Then post that we need to give the email address. Maybe like a username we need to give. Username we can use it like the first portion of your email address. Then you can click on continue. After the click on continue, you'll get a OTP. To where? To the email. Okay. Refer your email and you will get the 6-digit OTP. So enter that OTP in the next page. Enter that OTP in the next page. Okay. Once you enter the OTP, then it will ask you to solve some puzzles. Simple puzzles. Okay. You need to solve the puzzles. Post solving the puzzles, you will get it will gonna ask some details like how many team members are there, like that. In that down itself, you can able to find an option called skip personalization. Always look for an option to skip personalization option. You'll get, if you drag it a little bit down, you'll get that option. Okay. If we click on that option,
Actually, for me, it's not coming like that. I shared the screenshot what is coming for me in chat box. It's coming like this.
you need to the capture should be you unable to verify your capture response. You need to verify the capture.
Directly getting that screen after clicking on continue.
You're not getting that puzzle option,
No, not getting.
but your account, what is that other option? Just a moment. Click on create account. Click on create account.
Okay.
So once the account is created, guys, then this is your account. You'll get an account like this. But you should not be any repository. You can see the account like this. You should not be any repository. Your account should be blank. Like this, the account will be there. After you complete everything. So once you've done that, then I'm gonna show that how to create the repository. Okay, using that repository, we can need to clone the repository and we need to proceed further. Okay, so before that, what we need to do means, so for cloning the repository, there are two options are there. Cloning nothing but downloading. Downloading the repository, we have two options are there. So means we need to set the password and we can use one option. Another one is we can copy your laptop key to the GitHub and along with you can able to put that. Two options we have. Okay, this option you guys can try right now itself. But you can keep aside this particular value. Once your GitHub account created, then you can able to add this key over there. Okay, so look at guys my screen. You need to type SSH minus keygen. Open your laptop, open your git bash. Search for git bash in your local laptop. Run this command. Do it right now. In your git bash, run below command. In your git bash, run this command. Then if I enter this class like this, enter the file which you want, the key. Okay, enter, just enter. Okay, for me already key is there, it's asking for override. For you guys key is not there, so it won't ask override. Okay, then one more time you can enter, then your key will be generated. But how to view our key? So we need to type the command like this, then you can able to view that in your laptop. In the same git bash only to type this command. After key is generated, you can type this command. This command is going to give the key. Verify. Okay, once the key is there, I can copy this key. And I need to add this key. Where we need to add? This is your GitHub account. Under the GitHub account, right side. Look at the last icon, guys. This is the icon. Look at my mouse cursor. This is the last icon. Click on this icon. Then you can get an option called settings. Click on that option. Then you will get an option called settings. Click on settings. Then left side you can see SSH and GPG keys. Click on SSH and GPG keys. Then here we can able to add our key. New SSH key. We can paste the key and we can give the key name as local laptop key or something. Okay. So like this we can able to copy paste the key. Then add key. For me it's asking for authentication. For you guys might it ask for password. You guys can enter the password and you can enter. I added the once I added the I need to create the repository. Let me show that how to create the repository. in the left side you can say new option, click on new. So here owner repository name option is there, right? In the repository name I'll give the name John DevOps. This is the one 2025. This name should be available. Okay, for you guys, use the same repository name. But along with this, what you guys can do at the last after 2025, after you can put hyphen your name. Okay, like a Santosh Shiva, anything you can put the value so that it should not be unique. Okay, so you can create the repository with this name. Then we need to write a description. But before the description, can you guys see here an option is there? Initialize this repository with README file is there, right? Check this box. After checking the box, make sure guys, after check this box, you can read this line. You always find this option. In this option, what you can do means generally by default it won't be a main. It won't be a master. This will set main as the default branch, like this will be there for you guys. What you guys has to do means you need to set instead of main you need to set as a master master. For that what you need to do means change the default name in your settings option is there. You can click on here. Here you need to update as a master. Here you need to update as a master. Make sure this step, don't miss this step. Okay, so once you make it as master, update it. Once you update, then we can create let me John DevOps 6 p.m. hyphen 2025. Okay, then description nothing but more about your repository, more about your project. What are the projects you're working on? This is GitHub repo for storing code files for 6 p.m. DevOps project. DevOps project. So after this, so you guys are aware about repository name, then description you can put any value, anything is fine. Description also you can put repository name also fine. Okay, description is like nothing but like you are creating a repository, right? Your teammates also knows about this. I mean, if they look at this repository, they want to get to know that what exactly you're doing, what is there in this particular repository. For that purpose only we can give the description. Okay, and also it's optional, not mandatory. Next, with respect to repositories permission, there are two types of permissions are there. Repository set wise, one is public repository and the one is private repository. So public repository nothing but if you create a repository selected with public means anyone in the world can able to open your repository and can able to access your repository. Make sure guys, anyone in the world can open this repository and they can able to access the data what you kept under this particular repository. In case if you select private, then except you and your team, nobody can able to access this repository. Except your team and you, nobody else can able to access your repository. But make sure in the company, all the repositories are private only. None of the repositories should be in a public. Make sure. Okay. I'm also selecting private only. Then initialize this repository with the add a readme file. Nothing but this is very important file. What is the use of this file? Nothing but this file going to give an overview about this particular project. Nothing but anything you want to teach to your team, anything you want to update to your team, anything you want to give context about the project and the data, then this readme file is the best option to collaborate with the team. Nothing but you can update to the team. Okay, that's the advantage of this one. I check this box. Then we have a ignore file will be there. Post that always look for this one. It should be set to master only. If all good, click on create repository. Repository will be created. Repository is created. Now I want to log in with this repository. What I'll do means in my local laptop, the font size is okay. I need to increase.
It's fine.
So we can create one folder called mkdir GitHub repos 6 pm. Where we need to create means in git bash. So that means make sure guys pwd you can take a path and when you open the git bash, search and open the git bash. Okay, in that first you can create this folder. Inside this folder cd space, you can get inside that folder. Here first git command I am running, git space -v. This will going to show the version. After we create that, get inside the folder. In the company also you're doing same thing only. Remember guys, in company also you will create a folder and you're gonna clone the repository and you're gonna do day-to-day activities. Okay. Git -v command will going to show the git version. So I'm using 2.39.5. For your laptop the version might be different because the version will be different for a Mac also and Windows also and Linux also. Not same. Okay. Next. Now I need to clone the repository, right? Git space clone clone space. I can copy the value from here. Can you guys see this here? Code option is there. Click on code, HTTPS, SSH, GitHub CLI. Three options are there. HTTPS means the URL will be looks like HTTPS. So we can use this to clone, but it will ask for username or password. But what username password you need to give? GitHub username password you need to give, but it won't be secure. Why I'll tell you. So this is the company repository, company laptop. Okay. So this repository having username password with this link. If I share this username password along with this link, anyone in the world can able to clone the repository. If I share my username password and this repository path to anyone in the world, anyone can able to log in. Those who have the username password. That's not a secure then. So that's the reason we are following SSH method only. SSH means in your laptop, only one laptop, one key will be there, right? We generated your key and we updated the key in the SSH. Okay. That's the reason most people prefer SSH only. Click on SSH and copy this URL and put up here like this. Get a clone, then copy paste the URL. It will ask yes or no. If sometimes if it's asking yes or no, you can type yes. If it's not asked, it means it's cloned successfully. Look at my screen. If I do ls, I can see the folder. The repository has been cloned successfully. From where to where? From GitHub to local. Okay. Any questions, guys? Now. Any questions or confusions? Let me know if any specific questions. Okay, so we'll do one thing. What are the steps we follow today, right? Till here, you guys can follow the same steps and you guys can create the repository and rest of the steps. And in the next class, upon you guys completed this all the steps, right? In next class, we'll proceed for further. Okay. Any questions? If you're good, then we'll stop at this stage today. Okay. In tomorrow class, we'll discuss about how to execute the commands in the Git commands. We'll discuss about that. But before that, make sure guys, you should complete this repository creation, cloning the repository to local laptop. That should be completed. Okay. Cool that then. No questions means we'll disconnect today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.